Welcome to Good Morning Akron, everyone. I'm your host, Sarah. I'm with Matt Zahand today. How are you, Matt?
Good. How about yourself?
I am good, and he is co-owner or owner of...
I own it with my father.
Own it with your father, of Zahands Martial Arts.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're going to talk a little bit about martial arts. We're going to talk a little bit about your anti-bullying program that you have in some of the schools. So it's going to be good conversation. So tell me a little bit about you and how you got into this.
I was kicking in the womb.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you own with your father, you've probably been doing this your whole life.
So my father was actually a 1987 Olympic Sportsman of the Year, and he was a two-time Pan American champ. So
oh, wow.
He was a pretty good dude in martial arts. So I was like, I'm going to go in the Navy.
You're like, I'm not going to do that.
Right. I mean, I did martial arts my whole life growing up. The kids were what kept me going, in any of my darkest times. My dream was to go into the Navy. I had a bad back injury when I was in the Navy.
Okay.
So when I lost that, I was pretty down and out. The kids were what kept me going. That was what my livelihood became, and they were my why. So I came back to the dojo, came back to martial arts, and I mean, for me it was, martial arts isn't just the self-defense. The biggest thing with martial arts is the life skills building. The confidence, the discipline, the focus. I always tell people it's more of a permanent fix, because I have kids that come from a lot of backgrounds. I mean, they've been through the foster system, 8, 9 homes, have been abused, neglected, so many backgrounds. And karate gives them a type of permanent fix in the sense of those life skills that even if they're with me a year or 2 years or 5 years, whatever they take with them, they always have, whether it's that little bit of confidence, that way to handle some of the trauma they've been through. They'll come back to me years later and say, I still remember this. And that's where I've really found the passion in what we do with this. So.
I totally agree with you. I actually coached figure skating for many years, and it's the same kind of things. I loved teaching them skating, but it was more about the life lessons, like what can you take with you into your life? What can 100%. You take with you into your careers, into your jobs that you're going to have? So that's really beautiful that you love to do that with your students. So you mentioned karate. Do you do different kinds of martial arts at the dojo? Do you just do karate? What kinds of things would people expect if they came to your dojo?
I love it. That's a good question. So what's really cool is we do 3 different styles of martial arts. So we do judo, because judo is your basic how to fall properly, how to roll, how to throw, other ways to protect yourself besides just punching and kicking. We do jiu-jitsu, so a lot of people are familiar with Brazilian jiu-jitsu. That's like the ground jiu-jitsu, or the ground grappling. We do Seikan jiu-jitsu, it's Japanese jiu-jitsu, so that's what Brazilian came from. So it has your stand-up jiu-jitsu, what do you do if somebody grabs you? How do you escape? How do you get away in those situations? And it involves the grappling on the ground. And then we do karate. So we do 2 styles of karate. We do Shotokan karate, which is the most common Western style of martial art. The karate that you hear nowadays. And then I also do what's called Kyokushin karate, which is called like the strongest karate. They like to say it means ultimate truth. It's a bare knuckle full contact karate where you attempt to win by knockout in competition, which is pretty cool.
Okay, so a little bit of everything, right?
Yes,
and
ma'am.
So do you teach all different ages? Do you teach all different levels? Share a little bit about that.
We got the little minions all the way up.
Little minions. What is the youngest that you teach?
3.5.
Okay.
3.5. So as long as they're potty trained. So we do 3.5. We got my preschool programs like 3.5 to 6 years old.
Oh, that's
then we
so
do,
fun.
Then we got, they're the fun
and
ones.
probably really nuts too.
Oh yeah, it's a blast. You just got to keep them moving. That's my mom's favorite group, but you'll get to meet her in a second. That's my best friend. But you got the 3.5, 6-year-olds, and you have my regular students, 6 to about 12. That would be, I would say, about 240 of my students is in that age range.
Is in that age, yeah. That seems like the age where they would really kind of grasp onto that.
Yeah, and according to science, neuroplasticity in the brain is the greatest between ages 3 to 12, which is really important for learning and retaining information for
Absolutely.
kids. And then also we have a teen program and an adult program. We like to keep the classes age oriented. You don't want adults with little kids. You can't do as much, and it's a different learning curve.
Okay, and so if you are an adult and you're interested, you can also do that. You have adult programs as well.
Of course, yeah,
That's great.
We do women's self-defense seminars. We do a whole bunch of cool things though. We do parents' night outs. Like parents get to drop the kids off for 4 hours. We watch a movie, play games, eat pizza. It's all fun.
That's
all that
so
good
fun.
stuff.
All right, so I love how it's like a little bit of everything, and kids can be any age, all the way through adults. That's really awesome. So I want to move a little bit into the work that you do in the schools too, and talk about you have a passion for anti-bullying efforts and helping kids to not be bullied in the school system. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that's the Bully Buster program. So I've been volunteering my time for about 8 years now working with that. It was a program created by Dr. Terrence Webster Doyle. He was a psychologist and a martial artist. And it's essentially 12 ways for kids to handle bullies without fighting. Because the last thing that a lot of people think, well, they think karate, they think, fight.
Right,
no. That's the last
That's
resort.
not what you're teaching.
No, that's not what it's about. And these steps, of course, based from a psychologist perspective and a martial arts perspective, really kind of hones in on how to help the kids and whatnot. Now, for me, I kind of revamped the program because it was created decades ago, made it more of a team building exercise. So I just take up the gym classes for a couple days. For the elementary school kids, it's 1 day long. For the middle and high school kids, it's 2 days long because we want them to really understand working as a team. Understand you don't have to like everybody in life. That's fine. I don't like a lot of people.
Right.
But that doesn't mean you disrespect
Exactly.
people. So.
And that doesn't mean that you're going to be mean to them. I was actually just talking with one of my kids this morning about that, and I realized that you actually have been to her school.
Oh, yeah?
And we started talking about it. It had been a few years ago, and I realized that you've actually done that program at her school, which is great. So tell me a little bit about, you want to expand that. You're hoping to maybe even expand that into Akron Public Schools. Can we say that here?
Of course, hopefully.
Yes.
So I have a meeting with Akron Public Schools this Friday. That was actually one of the main districts I've been working to get into for years. Just because, there's issues everywhere in every school district and whatnot. But I mean, I'm a native in Akron. I grew up in the Falls. I graduated Cuyahoga Falls myself. I do this program in Cuyahoga Falls, going back Woodridge, Ravenna, Bath, Revere area, and I think that's it off the top of my head. So my goal right now is to expand it into the Akron area, and then hopefully in the future I would like, once I can get my dojo functioning, without me having to be there all the time. This is a business owner, which is completely fine. I love that. That's my passion. I love being there. I love being there with my students. But if I'm able to take a little time away from that and be able to expand the Bully Buster, my goal is maybe to be able to take it nationwide or something.
I love that.
If it's something that we can give to, my idea was being volunteer all these years, if it helps one kid, it's worth it.
Exactly.
So.
And what do you hope that the kids get out of that program? Just that they have the tools that they can, like you said, not fight.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell you a little story.
Tell me a story about it.
Yeah, right before that, but to start with the answer to that question, of course, one goal is to get the kids to understand working as a team.
Right.
The second thing is to get them to understand, like you mentioned, the other ways to get out of situations, to not let your ego take over.
Sure.
I had a guy, it was ironic, I ordered pizza. So I ordered pizza, a guy came to my door, opened the door, and I'm like, oh crud, I forgot my wallet, right? And the guy's talking to me, he goes, oh, it's okay. He goes, you're Sensei Matt, right? And I was like, who's asking, And he's like, you came to my school one time. Now this guy had to have been about 18, 19 years old because he was a delivery driver. He went to Falls. That means I hadn't have had him for at least 5 years because I'm not in Falls High School. I was in the middle school.
Right, okay.
He looks at me, he goes, do you still do that program? And I go, the Bully Buster? He goes, yeah. I go, yes, sir. It turns out his name was Anthony.
Okay.
He goes, using humor. He goes, that got me out of like 3 situations, almost 3 fights. He goes, I'm really glad that you still do that. He goes, that really helped me. He goes, let me get the pizza for you. And I was like, you stop! I'm like ready to cry, but I'm like, I can't let you.
Yeah, but that shows you exactly why you're doing it, right?
Exactly. That's the one kid.
You taught something there using humor. He used that tool, and he was able to get out of those situations. That's really beautiful. So, all right. And what do you hope people get out of karate, out of martial arts when they come to your studio? What is your hope for them?
So, I mean, our mission statement altogether is to permanently better lives through veracity, family, and martial arts.
Okay.
My goal is to build a community. A community that everybody can be themselves, be accepted. I'm an extroverted guy. I've always been a wild person. But I've also, God blessed me with ways to adapt to many different people too. And my goal in the dojo, we have over 300 students, is to have a place where everybody can be themselves, everybody encourages everyone to build themselves up, and there's no negativity. When you walk in the door, there's somebody there to greet you. We're family owned. My father, my mother, and me are all behind the scenes. You also have, veracity veracity, that means being truthful, not just truthful in being honest to others, but also being honest to yourself and living a true life. And then, of course, martial arts. That's what we teach. That's that's what we use to embody those life skills.
That's awesome. All right. Share with everyone how they can get in touch with you guys, and then we have a very special surprise.
Yeah.
So share your website, if you have social media that people can reach you at, go ahead and share that.
Yeah, so we are on, you can get our website. Our website's www.zahands.com. Z is in Zulu, AHANDS. That's our website. We have a 9-line special right now. Go on there, $19.99. Gives you a uniform, gives you a free week to try out the program, which is
awesome.
Cool. So we got that. You can also get us on Facebook at Zahands Martial Arts. I also have a personal Instagram, Sensei Matt BB for Bully Buster. So Sensei Matt BB, SENSEI Matt MATTBB. And yeah, I mean, those are usually the best ways to get a hold of us.
That sounds great. All right, Sensei Matt, are you ready?
Born ready.
All right, we're gonna bring in your mom.
Come on, Mom!
I'm so excited.
Let's do
and
it.
you said she's your bestie.
She is my bestie. My mom's always been my bestie.
I'm gonna
She's always
introduce
had my back.
Mom.
Come here, Mom. All right. This is my best friend. This is my mother, Tammy. All right, so she's gonna actually hold the board. I'm gonna let Miss Sarah here check it out. She can check the board. Let Sarah see the board real quick. Make sure it's the real deal.
Check it.
You know,
it is the real deal, everyone. All right, Tammy's gonna hold it for us.
I brought her specifically here today to hold the board, so we didn't put Sarah behind the board. So,
he was a little nervous that I couldn't handle it, which I would be too.
Yeah. So they say that breaking a piece of wood is the equivalent of breaking a rib.
Okay.
So if you can do that, you know, a 1-inch thick board, you should be able to break a rib. So we'll have a little bit of fun with this. We always kind of prepare. And the concept of breaking a board isn't just hitting the board, because if you just hit the board, it doesn't do anything, right? No. You have to hit through the board. So I'm here. And smash.
Wow! Oh my gosh, that's so cool. It's just as cool as you would think it would be. And you can learn to do this yourself. Now, how far along do people have to be in their martial arts training before they learn this?
So to break the real boards, you know, usually you get there about a brown belt level. But the cool thing is, if you do come in and sign up for the $19.99 special, the kids get a chance to break a board to officially earn their white belt, which is pretty cool.
That's fun. It's probably is it a little thinner than
this? It's a little thinner. We don't put them through the real Lowe's board yet, but you know, yeah.
That's awesome. All right, I'm gonna hand this to you.
Thanks, Mom.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tammy. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you go visit Sensei Matt, or you check out some of. I mean, this is a great deal. The $19.99, you can actually just go check it out for a week and get a uniform. And also, we want you to support the Bully Buster program here in the schools. Hopefully, you'll get into Akron Publix. We're rooting for you, Matt.
Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you guys again for watching here on Good Morning Akron. We had a great show this morning. Make sure you stay tuned for more coming up next.
Take it easy.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.